What's up, everybody? Welcome to Go Talk, presented by 718 Sports Network. I'm Hakim Rice, Smokey Browning. We have Barbie and CJ here today. What's up, guys?
What's the word, y'all?
How y'all feeling?
Feeling great.
Happy that y'all here. We've been trying to get this together for a while now, Miss Barbie.
Yes.
Welcome to Staten Island.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. She can't stop smiling. How was the drive?
It was alright. I ain't gonna say it was bad. I done drove to Long Island and it was a little longer, but this wasn't too bad.
I asked you a couple days prior just to make sure because I wanted to see that hour 15 pop up. You ain't want.
4 for me.
Not bad. Oh, that means she got a good easy pass. That means she did not go through the BQE belt. She goes no those away. Straight through the tunnel. CJ, how you feeling, King?
Chilling. No complaints.
All right. So tell the audience a little bit about you guys. Doesn't matter which order, but your name, where you from. For you, CJ, what school you go to. Barb, what organization you represent. And yeah, let's just start off with that for now. We started with you, Barb.
All right. Well, B.W.A.P, owner and founder of H2N Give-Back Incorporation. I'm from every borough.
Okay.
Every borough.
Okay.
Let's just say born in Harlem, raised in Brooklyn, migrated to the Bronx, so just all over the place,
Right.
Yeah.
And how was that for you as basically coming up?
It was a little test and trial, because we had to get used to going to different neighborhoods and, different places. I lived in Brooklyn for 24 years before we went to the Bronx.
What part of Brooklyn?
What part of Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Brownsville.
Shout out Brownsville. We like to shout out everybody. We from Staten Island. We like to give everybody love. So shout out Brownsville.
Gotta put that in there.
Okay, then you moved.
Yes, and then I moved out to the Bronx, Tremont area.
Okay.
And that's when I started H2N, which was back then called the BX Heavy Hitters, back in 2011. And from there I just kept striving.
And what does H2N stand for the audience?
Well, H2N really is, in case a lot of people didn't know, it stands for Heavy Hitters because it's 2 H's and then the nation, 2 H's and the N. So it's H2N. I wanted to make it look like it was part of the the periodic table.
Okay.
So I put the H2N, and I felt
That's
like
fire. I
it
like
was an
that.
easier way to say heavy hitters. But everybody got heavy hitters. DJ heavy hitter, baseball and stuff like that. So I said, let me come out of that. Let me just go and put like something that's shorter. And when my players passed away, I was like, you know what? Let me just give back more. So that's when I created H2N to Give Back Incorporation.
Shout out to you, Barb. Real talk. And just to transition a little bit, CJ, let people know your name, what high school you in, what grade, and what sport you play.
I got you. I'm Shane Walker. I attended Wings Academy in the Bronx by East 180th. I just graduated not too long ago, like a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. And I play basketball. Yeah.
And you've been playing ball for how long?
For a long time, as long as I can remember. I don't even really got an age on it. Just whenever I saw basketball, I just started picking it up.
And what got you into basketball?
My mom, she was always surrounded by basketball. So me growing up, I saw basketball. I just picked it up. I was by Mapes. I came down the block. She like, you see the line, try to dribble the ball between the line. I started dribbling. The ball went in the street. She had to grab and stuff. So then I started, for me, day by day, going to the gym with her, going outside. And then I got better. And then I saw something I wanted to do, so I kept it going.
God, that's cool. That's what's up, bro. Because you have kind of like a cheat code to an extent. You have somebody who is your parent, your role model, and your guardian. And then you also got somebody who is giving you the tools to something that you've picked up and naturally liked. Keem?
All right, Bob. So you say you started H2N in 2011?
Yes.
All right, so you played sports growing up?
Well, it was a halt at one point because I have a heart condition.
Talking to the mic, Bob.
It was a heart condition, so because of the heart condition, I was able to play at least, I think 8th grade that was, and I went in for tryouts for 9th grade at Maxwell Vocational High School, and because of the heart condition, they told me I couldn't play.
Okay.
So
that's what really got you into coaching.
Actually, my brother, and I have to give kudos to my brother Apache Pascal.
Shout out to him.
Founder of Exodus NYC. He's no longer here with us. He told me to give what I didn't get. And what I didn't get was a chance. So that's what I'm about. I'm about giving chances. I do follow my slogan, every child deserves a chance. Now, this year I added on, we give chances. So that's what I've been doing for the last 14 years.
That's pretty cool.
Shout outs to you, Bob.
Thank you.
But just to unpack all of it, because we're gonna dog walk it. I know you're gonna give the great answers. You're gonna give the people everything that they need to hear. But when I hear certain answers, I'm gonna just take little pieces from it, though.
Okay.
So, what age did you actually stop playing basketball?
I stopped playing around probably around 14.
Okay. And when you did play and you did participate, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good because, I had an older brother
Mm-hmm.
who was a coach. He wanted me to play ball for him, and it didn't work out that way. Went to the doctors, and he's like, "Oh, you have a heart condition. You can't do this, can't do that, can't do this." But by God's grace, that whole thing just disappeared. So now I'm just in the gym trying to beat him.
Oh, we gonna get to that part. People think I just be wanting to just jump into that part because they see the clips.
That might be
But-
the name of the episode.
Yeah.
In the gym trying to be him.
That's a fact, Keith.
That's going,
That's a
right?
fact,
Yeah,
Keith.
yeah.
I
So
mess with that.
for you, Bob,
Yes.
basketball started from your brother.
It started from my brother. And plus I was like the little tomboy on my block.
Gotcha.
So I was outside with the skirt on with the church shoes, just coming
Giving
from church,
buckets.
giving buckets from the tree with the crate. You feel me? Back
Talk
in the
about
day.
it. Talk about it.
about
They don't know what they talking about. Yeah,
Exactly.
Scrape your hand on the layup and all that.
One of those,
Facts.
So, behind the back with the garbage can,
course.
But that was me back in the days, and I just made it a little a hobby, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it into a habit, make it keep going. Then after a while, I decided to, beat around with playwriting and stuff like that. I feel like it was a good thing because I'm pretty creative with writing and stuff like that. But I said, you know what, by me sitting around, when I finally moved out to, Tremont in the Bronx, I saw a kid get hit by a car. And, he's about to get hit again. And I happened to move him. He was playing basketball. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to help out. And then I decided to scout the area, and a whole bunch of kids from the shelter. Pick one kid. He went with me to the chicken spot. And I told him, I said, if you can get me a couple of guys, I promise you I'll set a team. We can make a team. I said, because I never got the chance to really play ball, and I saw that they was into it. The kid name is Danelle Pimento and Dante Thompson. So
Shout out to them.
they really went in, and they got everybody from the neighboring area with all the shelters. And that night, they came back with a paper with, I think it was 8 names, if I'm not mistaken. And then I look again, the next day it was 24 kids. And they was like, where we going to practice at? I said, right up the block. We're going to start from the Pebbles. That's how we do it. We start from the Pebbles and we grow from there. So the second day of me starting, we having practice at 318 Park. About that time, I had 24 basketball players.
That's what's up, Bob.
Within one day of just literally just telling one kid, because he went and told everybody.
That's dope.
So you said that you moved around as you was, on your journey. How do you feel? Because I feel like you can adapt. I feel like these different neighborhoods you've come up in have different attitudes. They have different backgrounds. They have different people. So how do you feel as a people person, building your relationships in these communities? How do you feel like you give back, and what do you feel like they give to you?
Well, my way of giving back is, it always started me just wanting to make teams.
Basketball
Kids off
teams?
the streets.
Okay.
That's how I started.
Okay.
I see it. Like I said, the kid got hit, and he told me thank you for saving his life. So me seeing that, I'm like, you know what? I got this one at, he didn't tell you the age, but I got this one at 4 years old with a basketball in his hand. 6 is when he started kicking in. And once I saw, that I was able to make teams, I saw that I was able to give back in a way, because one, they not outside running amok, running wild or anything, and they not, out there, trying to get into too much trouble or whatever. Some of them are, they was a little troubled, but they found an escape. And that was basketball. So I was like, you know what? If I can make this bigger, I'm going to keep making it bigger.
Pause. I feel you.
Once I get it bigger than that, I'm going to make it bigger than that. So my thing was, that was my give back to, get them to understand, like, there is nobody out here doing this for y'all right now. So I'm going to do it. That's me giving to y'all. And as they grew, closer, they brought more kids around. More kids around. By the time I left from East Tremont to go to Hunts Point, in a gym, I was told that I can use the gym. And I told them I come with numbers. Came with a whole bunch
Talk
of
about
kids.
it.
Came with a whole bunch of kids, and once they saw me bring in Chums 12 News, and they saw me working, mind you, I had asked them for a job. They said they didn't have nothing. But once those kids hit and came in that gym, and then I got the area. Everybody in the area came in the gym too. The news was there and everything, and they saw it. They hired me on the spot, and they was like, "What are you trying to do?" I said, "I'm trying to give what I didn't get, a chance." So
Facts.
that's what I wanted. And the kids, they always come through. I still got kids that started out that's still with me to this day.
You moved the needle.
Besides
You moved. Nah, we gonna get to you, CJ. We ain't forget about you.
He's 30.
Move the needle and things like that. But let me ask you a little bit of a tougher question. How many kids have you lost through the process?
6, and I just found out it was basically 7 just recently. So
How do you deal and cope with that?
it's hard. It's really hard. Because when I started the nonprofit, that's when Joanne had passed away. So it was basically right now you can say 6 boys, 1 girl. You know, and it was in a certain order because it started in 2018 and 2019 and 2020, then 2021, then 2022, and then 2023. Now we in 2025. Last year gave me a break, so like I said, it hurts.
What do you feel, not to say what is the cause, but where do you feel some of the things the streets is lacking for some of these things to not happen so often?
I'm feeling like more of a leadership. You know what I mean? Like, it's people out there that want to be leaders, but they don't know how to.
Okay.
It's like I'm against people that wants to be in a line to follow. Sometimes you gotta step out and then create your own path. Sometimes you follow, it might be some stagnation within that, so if you step out and create your own path, then you'll be able to help the next person. And, I feel like experience is the best teacher, so your experience, my experience, I learn from you, I take that, and I move on with everybody else. So I feel like too many people out here that don't have the experience, they want to be a leader, but they don't pay attention to the road that was built in front of them. Sometimes we don't want to go down that road, but we have to. And then once we learn whatever we can learn from there, then move on, teach somebody else. Like I told him one time about coaching. I'm always fussing at him about coaching. And I'm like, yo, in order for you to be a leader, you got to know what's going on. So I told him inside of a tournament, and he did pretty good. He lost, though. He did pretty good. But he came to me, and one thing about my son, I tell him all the time, I said, sometimes listen. When you listen, you learn. And I told him, I said, just coach, do what you can. He said, Ma, I don't know how you do this. He said, they don't listen. He said, now I see what you're talking about. But then when he go on the court,
it resonates.
He's doing the same old thing that he actually saw everybody else do. So then I'm still fussing and stuff like. And I told him, I said, once you stand in my shoes, then you see what a leader looks like, because I'm not just leading as a coach. I'm leading as a mentor. I'm leading as kids that look at me as a mother, looking at me as a sister. They call me Big Bro too, but
I get you.
It is what it is, But that's what I feel like. There's a lot of people out there that know how to lead and some that don't know how to lead. Thing is, get in the path of what it was already built. Get the experience first.
Copy. Keem?
What are the age ranges of your kids?
Oh boy, right now the youngest age is I think my 15U. Right now, I am working on younger teams. I'm also working on a group of kids that got something called Baby Squad, and I'm projecting from 7 maybe to like 12 right there. That's for like they come in for actual workouts, learn how to dribble the ball, all that stuff like that, and if they do well enough, we make little teams out of them, and we just keep them, developing. One thing I don't turn down talent. I don't.
Respect.
Because anybody can be the next big star, and you can fight to be the next big star, So you could be one of them kids that come in and say, I don't know how to dribble a basketball. Maybe by the next middle of the year or the next year you probably crossing him over. If you're not pinpoint, going at him, that's the time.
Oh no, CJ, we gonna get right to you. I was just waiting for it to finish up.
Because like how it started off with him, like I said, at 4 years old he had a ball. I went to a couple of them. Big shout out to Sleep Johnson and Seaball. In case I never heard of it, it started out in the Bronx. He's a community leader and he was doing a lot of events. You go there, you get CPR, you get fire department come in, they talk to the kids. It's so many different things that his program.
Shout out to him.
Shout out.
That gave H2N a big opportunity to showcase all the time. We was the biggest group, and we loved it. We always made sure, we was there. And with the age thing, he was young, learning CPR along with my daughter, and then I said, you know what? If they that little and they can do it, then why anybody else can do it? So that's when I started getting more little kids, and they grew. They grew with me. Like I said, they got some with me now. It's even 24, 25. I believe one of my older players is like 27. I think he either turned 27 to 28. He started me in his teens, but I got some that started me, like Danny, God bless his soul. He was 9 years old, and he died at 19. So he grew with me.
So, CJ, I'm going to switch over to you for a quick gear. So you started, playing basketball. Your mom was your coach. At what age? Like, did she start really coaching? I know you started off at 6 and she was, like, in your life, but your coach on the sideline. At what age was that?
Around, like, 10 maybe, because she had me playing up since I was young. So
okay.
I was playing with the older kids. So, yeah, around
so
like 10.
How do you balance the difference with her being your mom and then her being your coach?
I'm not gonna lie, it started getting harder recently. It started getting harder because like sometimes she right and sometimes she might be wrong. But for me at the end of the day, that's my mother, so I gotta have a certain type of respect for her because basketball aside, I gotta go home with my mother. So I gotta be smart.
Scared of later on.
Yeah, I gotta be smart.
It says don't ask me something completely different in the crib.
For me, certain coaches might get a different attitude. I might be like, "What you talking about?" But I can't say what you talking about to my mother because that's my blood. So for me, it's just a line of respect you gotta have. You gotta understand where she coming from as a coach and as a mother because she want to win, but she also want me to be safe. So yeah,
respect. So let me ask you a follow-up question. And how do you balance teammates who go at your mom and are on your team?
In the beginning, it was hard for me to balance that because I was a kid. I couldn't really like argue back with the older kids. Like when they'll go at my mom, they would be disrespectful, but they'll have a tone and stuff with my mother.
You get a little
exactly.
Know what I'm
so
saying?
I can't
That's
really
my mom.
like exactly. But I can't
that tone. Mom, that was a little pitch, right?
Exactly. I can't really do much. But now as I get older, and for me, I don't really tolerate that much disrespect. So like it's a thin line between my mom and any other players. So when she do have an altercation with the players, I go to the players first and be like, remember that's my mom at the end of the day. So cool it down, and then they shake hands, they get back on good terms, and then that's the end of that.
Respect, King. You're going to be the protector and the provider no matter what age it started. That's your role, and I'm happy that you stand 10 toes within that. So what high school do you go to now?
I go to Wings Academy.
So you just graduated from there?
Yeah, I just graduated.
Going into college?
Yeah, now I'm going to college.
Where you looking to go?
I'm going to Jefferson College in Watertown by Syracuse.
Shout out to you. And how you feel about that?
It's going to be an experience. It's going to be nice.
Is this a JUCO?
It's a JUCO. It's a JUCO.
And what is your expectations going into your first year?
Kill. Literally, I think I'm gonna keep it a bean. My high school career, it could have been way better. But
talk to us about it.
I think messed up with school, attendance. My senior year went down the drain because I didn't have my shot in school. It was a vaccine you had to get, and I missed like 2 weeks, so I was ineligible for the whole first half of the season.
Okay.
And when I came back, it was fake. The rotation was fake, messed up, and all that stuff. It was a lot of stuff I didn't do. And then I fell off with a class or something like that. It was a lot of stuff. So my senior year went down the drain, so that's why I'm trying to get back to what I was, and this summer get back everything I was.
So you don't have any younger siblings?
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you tell them after you going through the high school journey for their part?
Ah, man. What do I tell
Because
Brianna?
I know you want better for them,
Yeah,
and
of
I know you want
course,
them to do it
of
completely
course.
different. So
I tell them high school is no joke. Like, do it early so you can relax at the end. Because me, I was fortunate enough to pass all my Regents and hard tests that I was putting AP for my whole high school career. So
shout out to you.
yeah, so
you ain't
I
no dummy.
Nah, not at all for me.
Facts.
But I tell my younger sister Brianna, when she gets to high school, it's not really that many handouts, stuff like that. You gotta go and be verbal with the teachers. They're not gonna text your mother and be like, oh, you got this assignment, this, that, and third, parents teacher conference. Nobody really go to that when you're in high school. It's you and your teacher. So I tell her to just be verbal with her teachers and stuff like that. As soon as you get to high school, it's a whole different beast. Can't be disrespectful. People lay hands on each other. It's not middle school. So yeah.
Respect. But I'm also going to tap into, not saying your mom hasn't. College is even less restraint. You could walk into class with your do-rag on, your fitted, eating a sandwich. Like, so what is some of the things you're looking to work on as far as the discipline to be better that first year?
My only problem is waking up. So not having my mom there, I'm just gonna have to get an alarm at this point. Like,
Wait, you don't got an alarm now?
Nah, that don't even work. It just be turned off. I'm just gonna have to get an alarm.
Get an alarm?
That's really
not a dog, nothing else.
Nothing. That's really all it is. Getting an alarm and then making sure I'm up. Once I'm up, I'm sturdy. I should be good.
I think your moms might have to be there.
You gonna be
She just might have to.
Bobby might have to be throwing buckets of water like
701.
in your dream, bro. Like she might.
5 hours. We not doing that.
5?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. But not to sound like that, that's not too far for us. We do tell every athlete that we have on this show, we're looking to follow. Because at the end of the day, you're not up here for no reason. You're not up here because of your mom. You're up here because you're special within yourself. So it is a blessing that Barbie is your mom, though.
Of course.
Having the shout out to Mo, shout out to Dre.
Yes. Those are my guys right there. My guys.
Because of them, this
Shout
is
out,
how Boys and Bowlers and Next Up program, how this came about. So as soon as I met them, I said, Poppy with a yayo. They brought me to your mom. So once that happened, I was like, I don't feel like y'all would steer me wrong because they two solid people who come off a tree of hers.
True.
So with you coming off that tree, you are a representation and extension of her. So always put that in your forefront as soon as you step out the door. First and foremost. But what were some of the accolades you was looking to break in high school that you didn't get a chance to break, that you look for your younger siblings to, yo, you better go get that. I ain't get to do it.
I was on roll for like a good amount, but I want them to get the what's the thing called? No, I want her to be a valedictorian. That's something all my teachers when I was going across the stage, they was like, if I would have stayed stayed the path, stayed the rate, stayed the course, I would have been up there. But I started letting the vibe, I'm not even gonna say letting the environment change me, but I started getting complacent and calm, cool, collective with me just getting bare minimum 75s, passing the test with maybe an 80 when I know I could get a 90 if I actually stayed a little later. But a little extra effort. I just hope for me, Brianna should do better. So
does that translate into your basketball game? Do you feel like you cut corners? Do you feel like you don't put that extra work in? Like, how did you, because not to sound like that, King, this is what this is for. This is for to understand the other side of your game, the mental side of your game. We know when you go out there, you're going to do your best, and whatever you put on, we're going to be okay about it because we just want you to go out there have fun. But we also want to understand what's going to help you get better when you in between those lines. So what I'm asking you is, do you feel like you're lacking in certain areas all the way around, or do you feel like you pick it up when you play ball, but you just got to get stronger in your academics?
I feel like it's a mental thing with me. I just be getting calm and cool. Like before, I was like, if not the main scorer, one of the main scorers. Now I'm calm with passing the ball, letting somebody else eat, and then I get yelled at when they miss or something like that. They're like, why you passing the ball? Like my coach Ty, he always, CJ, why you passing the ball? Go get a bucket. CJ, why you pass? And before I would be deemed as a ball hog or like, oh, I'm selfish. So I started passing the ball. I know I got good teammates because I can rely on everybody. Everybody on my team has a skill that I don't have. So if I know I'm not gonna make the shot, of course I'm passing to my shooter. So
That's
you know,
great
hopefully,
IQ right there.
it's
That's
feel
great
me?
IQ right there.
Because you gotta trust your people. So with the team I'm playing with her, with H1, I know I got people I can rely on. So that's why I started moving around and trying different stuff. So hopefully that translate. I don't know.
And Bob, from your coaching aspect, not mother aspect, from coaching aspect, when you watch your son play, what are some of the things that you feel he does really well, and then some of the things that you try to drill in him to get better at?
Well, he is a great passer. That's one thing I could say. You know, we get some assists out of him. You know,
Some out of him.
I just feel like, you know, sometimes when he has the open run to go do what he have to do, which is he's a little fancy with the ball behind the back and layup. You know, these kids nowadays, they use the jelly and all that stuff like that. Sometimes I like simple, pimple. You know, like that. Pop, that's that. You know, and
You got quotes when you coach? you having slogans?
Oh, man, yeah.
She got bumper stickers and stuff.
Oh,
Here she go with this line. From 9-5, she been hitting you with that line.
Oh my goodness.
When he's shooting his free throws, that's another thing with him, because I do workouts with him every, like, maybe sometimes twice a week and morning times. And I tell him, I said, listen, if you can't make a free throw, then you ain't helping me and you ain't helping the team. And he can't make a free throw. So, you know, like, I tell her, I said, CJ, you got to understand, you could shoot at any point. It's 3 spots right there. People use the corners of the foul line, you know what I mean? So I told him, I was like, yo, work on that, work on your layups, work on certain things. And it's just that in the past, he had, like, we went through a lot, you know, like, our lives overall. So basketball was our strength. So I'm very passionate about it, and especially because he's doing it. And then, you know, at one point my daughter wanted to do it too, but then I'm like, you know, CJ, you gotta step it up, buddy. You gotta do more. I took him to Pangos. They're good out there. He played top players in the game. They smoked them, but you know.
You got this experience.
You got the experience. Like, he's out there with Mel and AJ and all of them, you know, but you know, it was the experience that counted for me.
Fair.
You know, he's able to leave the city. We went to where was that?
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Yeah.
And you know, he got the experience out there, came back while he's live, because I went live. You know, I'm showing off my son. I don't care how nobody feel, whether he
As you should
or not. I'm showing off my son. And then that's when his old coach that he played for for 12 and under, Jabbar.
Shout out Jabbar.
Yeah, shout out Jabbar from Wings Academy. He hit me up and said, yo, Barb, I want him. He said, I coached him, but I like how he is now. I want him. So, you know, we got him into school, and I told CJ, buddy, the same thing I'm fussing at you about, they're going to fuss at you about too, but even more.
facts.
That's and I'm telling him this now with me as a recreational, organizational basketball coach. College, you think what you did in high school or something? Wait till you get to college. So I'm trying to tell him it's step by step by step. You know, it's not easy, but there's a lot of stuff that he still had to work on as a player, mentally and physically, that he can also be a leader again, going back to that, for the rest of the team. He's saying they have skills that he don't have. He holds a lot of skills, but the thing is, he'll show it differently. He'll let them rock, and he'll hold back. You know, so I'm telling him sometimes, just, yo, kick it, go, do what you got to do. Lay up the ball, you know, stop being a punk. Lay the ball up, boy.
I got you. Hakim?
All right, so you
Lay the ball.
said you started coaching him at 9, 10, right?
Yeah, around 9-ish, 10, more so 8, because I made him play up.
Okay.
I made him play up. So my first group was like 12 and under back then. So by
you
by
spent
his
4
again,
years up.
yeah, I push them all the way. I don't play that. If you're on a certain level and I feel you're on a certain level, I feel like if you could dribble the ball real good, okay, let's take that another notch, you know. So about like, he's about like 8, you know, going up, and I told him, I said, yo, you're not gonna play with me at your actual age, and yeah, we're not doing that.
All right, so when he was young, when did you know he was not good but understood the game?
Okay, remember I mentioned C-ball? Okay, we met a guy named Matrix there. He, I
Yeah, we need some name drops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Talk
forget.
about
C-ball, Matrix.
Shout out all of
Shout
you.
out,
Pull
bro.
up.
Matrix is his first ball handling coach. He came to 318. He came to Mary Mitchell when he was at Mary Mitchell. God bless Miss Heidi. She passed away a couple of years ago. They give us the backyard to use, and that was right across the street from my house, like literally across the street. And Matrix came through and showed him whatever he possibly could for CJ. He's like, yo, I'm not going to be here all the time. I got my own kids, you know. So he have a son that's doing real well in basketball also. But once I saw CJ, we was in the park one time, and this kid, I got the video somewhere on my phone. I got an archive, and I'm definitely
send that.
It's
We
so
want highlights
ugly.
and all that. Send
It's
that.
such an ugly video. This boy just throwing the ball. It was so weird, and he was so confident. And I sat on the bench, and I just loved it. And I'm just like, is this going to be my superstar? You know, so and my thing is, I always tell him, you ain't got to make the NBA. Go overseas, and if you don't, I'm the kind of person, if you don't make it in basketball, make sure you have a backup plan. I don't care what it is. I got a basketball player named Muhammad. When I was working down at HMI, he played for SOD. He went from playing basketball. Now he has his own accounting firm. He did well.
Shout out
I gotta
Muhammad.
give it to him. You know what I mean? So, me just watching, you know, hoping that as he grow, you know, he do more and more different stuff. If basketball is not the key, then hey, find the key to put in ignition of a different car.
Well, you see, you have the best representation of being able to give back to the game in a different way. And not to sound like that, I think that's something up here, 718SN, that we try to do with the athletes. You got to understand, the pick of the litter is very small, NBA-wise. Overseas, you know, that's great for yourself too. But also understand that the referees is on the court with LeBron. The commentators is on the side of the court with LeBron. The athletic trainers is on the bench with LeBron. So if it might not be able to get it one way, King, always explore the other avenues that is still within that one goal. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to know that when you have a strong mother who, I'm not going to say is a single mom, I don't know about the father or anything like that, but you have a great, strong representation, you already know it's embedded in you already.
True.
So whatever you apply it to, that's your superpower. Right. You just have to just clear everything else out and just go for that. So again, we want to represent you as an athlete. And I'm going to ask you, which is my next question, what was one of your toughest challenges as an athlete? But just know, if you don't feel like it's panning out, when you do pivot, have that open communication with those you already see, adapt when times is tough. But as an athlete now, what do you feel like has been one of your biggest hurdles in your journey?
So far, my biggest hurdle had to be when I got hurt. It was I think last summer going into my 12th career year, I was playing at a tournament called DeVille. It's in by 219, something like that, up in the Bronx. In Barnes.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to yeah, that's a good tournament.
Fact, shout out,
so we was playing against one of my friends, Mustafa, and he just like talking to me, and I don't tolerate people talking to me when I be playing calm, and when I turn it up, I just get quiet and I start I get quiet. So the game started, we killing them. Then my coach subbed me out because we win a lot. We won by a lot. He subbed me out. Mustafa started scoring. I'm like, yo, and he started talking to me while I'm on the bench. I'm like, I'm not in the game no more. What you feel me? What you yapping with me for? Ty subbed me back in the game. Manny, my big, he took a shot in the mid range. He missed. They threw an outlet pass to Mustafa. So I'm like, nah, he not about to score no more. So I went, fast break. I went from half court. I ran. I jumped, and I blocked it off the backboard. But mind you, I jumped too high, and he jumped too low. He hit my hip. And there's concrete on the floor. I fell straight on my head on the concrete.
Damn.
And I fake was stiff. Like, I'm not even gonna say I had a minor concussion, but like I couldn't move. I was paralyzed for a little bit.
Okay.
So the whole game stopped. I had to go to the hospital. And I was kind of injured for a few weeks. I'm not even a few weeks, few days. I was hurt. So,
I got a question for you, Barb. No cap. But just to ask you, just to follow up, how did you feel about your rehab and get yourself getting back? Because not to sound like that, some people get fears and things like that when they do get back into what they love. So how did you transition and deal with that?
It wasn't as hard for me, but it was hard for the people around me. Like, everybody was telling me, don't do this, don't do that, don't jump.
They put you on bubble boy.
They put me in a box. They told me not to do certain stuff. My time is limited.
So I could dunk it's since sophomore year.
They told
Want me to stop?
They told me to be in a bubble. And then my first game back, I think it was at that same tournament. It was at that same tournament, but it was the chip game against the same exact team. But they told me they
Like
was
a
like,
deja vu.
yeah, they told me they was like, relax, don't do this, don't do that. You got a career in front of you. You nice, this, that, and the third. We lost by 1 point. I
That's
took the
tough.
final shot. It went in and out. I was like, man, but I played good. It was a good game, but it was kind of hard. But for me, I knew I could still play basketball. I knew it wasn't like a limitation on me. I could still go, but now I got to be mindful because the 4 was very hard. If I didn't have my hair out, I could have lost my life, to be honest. Like, it was a hard 4.
I'm happy you like taking it as that, to be serious about how you
Yeah,
approach the
true.
game, especially inside court. Even though it's no different, a floor is a floor, it don't move. But inside, outside.
Yeah, concrete. Be
But
careful.
Barb, how'd you react as a mom when you not I don't know if you was there.
Yes, I
You was there. So how did you kick in?
It scared. You know, I ain't gonna say such words, but it scared me because as when he went up for the block, Mustafa kind of clipped him, and when he clipped him, it was like an off balance. And when CJ went down, his legs was up. I got the video too. His legs was up and straight down his head. So I kind of like double took, and I'm like, I'm running. I'm the kind of person, I don't care who it is. It could be a little kid running through the court. I'm running to save that kid's life because I don't want that kid to get hurt. And I ran over there, and the commissioner, Nick, he was running. He's like, he's not moving. I was like, nah, he's fine, he's fine. And I'm over there, CJ. And then, you know, I had a couple of people with me, and they was like, no, go to the hospital right
Facts.
now. So immediately we got in the hospital. Thank God for Montefiore. That's the hospital I go to, you know.
Shout out
They
them.
move quick. They move quick. So they got him in. We did CAT scan and everything like that. You know, I was nervous and I felt the way because I felt like all the teammates called me Ma and stuff like that. So I'm looking at them like, where y'all at? Why you not at the hospital? And some of them went all the way in Manhattan and came right back to the Bronx. They came and sat in the hospital with him. And I was like, you know what? Y'all some real people. I
There's
like y'all for
unity.
that. And these same ones, they gravitate towards me and my son. They come to my house and everything. So I look at them the same way I look at him. But, you know, that's my son. So I'm like, I could have lost him. You know, my daughter was like, what happened? What? I like Brianna here. Mom, what happened to my
That's the
brother?"
mom right there. You heard?
Yeah, you know, that's
She
the
run the
mother.
house. You
Yeah,
heard?
he gonna tell everybody he the daddy. So I ain't got nothing to say with that. But, you know, it really scared me, you know, because I've done seen a lot of people get hurt and stuff. But to see your own, that scared me.
That's what's up. All right. I'm sorry you went through that, even though you
Yeah.
better coming out of it, Hakim.
How's your guys' summer been with basketball?
Great question, because I was about to I was going in next. I was going to say, what tournament y'all in this summer?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You want to answer that?
Nah, you could go.
Because, Bob, we're going to get right into what
we just
we
started
spoke
doing
about.
better
So.
stuff. Hey.
What tournaments you represent this summer or you involved in, CJ?
Played in
Just top 5. If you got more than 5,
Yeah, well,
congrats
we
to you,
in
King.
2020.
We only need 5.
Yeah, we in a couple tournaments. We in you gonna have to say the
All right,
tournament
so,
names. It's a
the
lot.
last tournament we just played in, I'll start with that, was King Ron. That's on 113th between 1st and 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. We're also in LES, Skills and Drills. We're also in Dream League. That's uptown in the Bronx.
Queensbridge.
No, that's cool.
Queensbridge.
Yeah, Queensbridge.
Next up.
You know, we're
Yeah, next up is starting.
Yes.
Mo starts
Yeah, we
wing.
Nah, he already started.
We already started?
Yeah.
Shout out Mo, bro. I got to
Shout
pull
out
up,
Mo.
bro. I got to shout out
They
Mo,
wanna
bro.
know.
That's my
asked. I
dog.
said, hey, when's the next game for the? Because every last one of my teams have different logos and different names. His team is the difference with one F.
Okay.
We are different, you know. And I have H2N African Elite. That's a team full of Africans. Like,
Oh,
and they
shout outs
really,
to them.
They really make noise, you know. When we was in Mo's tournament last year, it was a head-to-head.
Yeah.
I had Coach Caleb
was
with
there.
African Elite, CJ coaching the at the time it was Danny the Little Bros. And they was like, Barbie, what are you gonna do? I said, I ain't got nothing to do with this. They the one coaching. I'm here on my phone. I'm on live right now. So Mo made fun of me. He's like, you in the middle right now? I said, yeah, but I'm backing up, you know. So we got quite a few. I even got Coach Tyler, which is my backbone. You know, he's with me everywhere. Besides taking pictures, he do video. He get the boys free clips. And
Shout out Ty.
yeah,
Ty shot you.
Shout out Ty.
He coaches my Unlimited.
Okay.
And we won last year in Queens in a tournament called Cages by he's a coach. I forgot the prep school that he worked for, but as soon as I get the name, I'll let you know. Coach Kai, he's through a tournament. I think it was last year it started or the year before, and we won it last year, undefeated straight through. And Tyler, he made sure that we won. And now this year we already won our first game, and he's talking trash all the way through. So like they actually play on Tuesday coming up. It was supposed to be today, but they changed it to Tuesday. So I'm happy it's on Tuesday so I can go. And I can see this nonsense that he's doing again. Let's see if we win. So I'm just hype about that. We in quite a few. I think they about to join the Dream League Unlimited. So, that's another good tournament. Guy from Brownsville, Brooklyn, that's holding it down. Playing a tournament. He did girls, high school girls, high school boys, middle school, unlimited females, unlimited men. He just going with it. So shout out to Vito for that, But we're in quite a few, and I didn't even name ones that's uptown that contacted me and other tournaments that hit me up and gave me a schedule.
So, CJ, what is your favorite tournaments to play in the summer? Your top 5 that you've participated in probably going to participate in. Like, what's your top 5?
So far, right now, this summer, Queensbridge is my favorite tournament so far because that's
the vibe.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Like
it's
the
indoor,
environment
outdoor.
is outdoor.
Okay.
Yeah,
right in the P's, right? Yeah, right in the projects. Like, so it's nasty. Everybody's outside.
Yo, niggas don't understand that energy.
The energy.
When you
it's like
from that,
it's like
when you play
it's natural.
it's everybody's outside. Kids, grandmas, aunties, nieces,
nutcrackers.
like everybody's outside. That's a great tournament.
They show support. Shout out to Grand PZ and the Queensbridge, his mom too. That tournament.
Shout out
and
to
CJ,
y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Give us 2 more. So you said that one, Queens?
Queensbridge. Next up is good. But
Shout
I got
out, Bo.
hurt. I got hurt. So.
When
I was playing, I was playing the game. I don't know. It was
We're not gonna talk about that.
I was.
You was getting your nights on like that?
Yes, it was bad.
I gotta post. I need that schedule.
I think we play Wednesday. Pop out.
Copy.
Feel me? Next up, let me see another one. Cages in Queens. That's unlimited. That's my first year playing with them, but I know it's gonna be a goodie because Todd gonna do me right. So I'm already know.
Yo, Todd, do my man
I'm already
right out
know.
here. And Bobby, would you agree with those 3, or would you change any of those?
I would kind of like change one.
Okay.
Well, as far as the unlimited, I'm sticking with the high school era.
Okay.
DeVille. The only reason why I can say certain ones because prior teams that I had that he played with, we won 2 years in a row with certain tournaments, 2 years back to back. And they's like, the defending champions is here. What you gonna do this year? We're gonna show you. That's what we're gonna do. So the tournaments that I return back to is the ones I get my most loyal, vibe to, and I go back. I'm like, you doing it again? All right, but DeVille next up, and I gotta add in Hunk. Hunk is another great tournament for me. Very well put together, beautiful uniforms. Beautiful the winning prizes. Oh my God, the trophies you can't really beat it for. Like high school is just nice. So and they get pizza.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. The little things count. The little things count.
Gotta feed
Team
Hunk.
Facts.
man.
So I put there's a lot more tournaments like we're checking out and stuff like that, and they're good. It's just some of them that I've been loyal to. They got my top notch. Stars.
Shout outs to them. When you and I was talking on FaceTime, you had told me that you did jerseys for a special tournament that just recently happened. You want to speak on that?
Okay. Well, a couple of years ago, I affiliated with LPAC and Coach Vic. That's like a brother to me. And he had a player named by Brandon Hendricks, and he passed away a couple of years ago. So, because I just recently started doing uniforms for different teams and stuff like that, I reached out to certain people, and a young man named Cisco, he hit me up and said, I like your uniforms, can you make some uniforms for B. Diddy Day? So I was like, that's an honor, because the young man played in my tournament when I was at down at HMI, and we had a team called SOD. It was Team of Kings tournament.
Okay.
And he told me, he's like, yo, Barbie, you set this game up because we going to win. They won, they took the 16 championship home. heavy hitters took second place. So I took the second place, you know. So when he told me that, and you know, a couple of years later he passed away, I was like, wow. And then, you know, I
Rest in
showed
peace.
Coach Vic the pictures. I'm like, yo, he's like, yeah, he did play. He's thinking about it. He's like, yeah, Brandon played. He's like, so you actually did interact with him? I was like, yes, I actually did. And I said, you know, respect is respect. You know, and then when they contact me and I made the uniforms, which they just had on July 7th, and I went out there and I did a little recording on my page. I felt real good, you know, just to know that, you know, his mom respects me. I respect his mom, and Cisco respect me. And they, when they hit me up, they was like, these are beautiful. And, you know, I had a little fight getting it from overseas, you know, because of the war and stuff that, you know. And I was like, you know what? If you love it, then I'm in love with it. You love it, I'm in love. So, you know, I was happy that I was able to give my service of creativity, you know, and just get them some uniforms. They look, be honest with you, I was shocked.
I like
How
them.
beautiful they came
I
out.
like them. I got like a couple more questions, and one of them is what's going to be. I know you coach. I know you're a great mom. What's some of the other hats that you wear? You do apparel. Let the people know what else that you touch on.
Well, like I said in the beginning, do playwriting. I'm a person that like to read. I read the dictionary too in the Bible, you know. So
As you should.
you know, with my mom is like the carpenter in the family, so she would tell me to get the paint or get the, you know, hammer, nail, do what you gotta do. My dad works on cars all day long. I can change tires. I can change the battery. I can lift it up. I can change the oil and all that stuff. You know, my dad taught me all that. So it's like little things that I learned. I added into, you know, what I can do and stuff like that. But, you know, the coaching, it got me, you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, long as I got him that wants to play, and then, you know, thankfully my daughter, you know, she likes sports, but a little different. She likes track. So, and he's
Still an athlete. Still an athlete.
Yeah.
Still an athlete.
When she want to be. Just be honest, when she want to be, because now she's picking up, like, I guess because her brother is leaving, she's like, Ma, I want to play basketball, but I don't know if she's really serious, you know, because she's coming with me on all of my games now. So, you know, just teaching her, even with track. I did track when I was small, and I tried to play football. I got hit in the eye, and that was it. I ain't want to play football no more. Had a black eye. I say black, that thing was black. You know what I mean? Like, had a black eye, so, you know, I was like, you know, no more football for me. That's not my forte, you know, but I play keyboard in church.
Okay.
I could tit-tat on the drum, you know. I used to sing.
Gotcha.
Tenor. Yeah. I used to sing tenor. I did better than half the guys on the choir. So, you know,
And where can people find you at if they want for you to do like their jerseys and stuff like that, the information?
For the uniforms, it's Apparel by H2N on Instagram. That's like the only page right now. I'm working on a website. I was blessed with a company called Free Website Guys. They're going to do a website for me for free. And as far as like H2N, is H2N WGC, which is again H2N, we give chances. So that's on Instagram. So everything right now is really based off of Instagram.
And as far as, because Barbie, we're going to manifest this, is going to be not just at y'all tournaments, being great at coaching and scouting and making sure these kids are safe. She also will be rating tournaments in the future and letting these people know how great their tournaments are and what they do for the community. Right. So just want you to touch base a little bit on some of the vision you have when you do bring that idea to life of what you actually want to cover when you go to these tournaments.
Okay, well, what I'm covering basically is just, you know, where you put your money to. Okay. You know, I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable where they're going. You know, there's a lot of tournaments that just come up out of nowhere, and you basically like, oh, I don't want to go back to that tournament. You know, maybe I ain't like it. You know,
feel like it's a money grab.
It was too far.
Feel like it's a money grab.
Not really, because you know you got some people that's very genuine behind.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm talking about the pop-up tournaments. Yeah. Like you hear this somewhere, then you're not coming back. Like I
feel like some people, when you get a pop-up tournament, like it's more so you just basically saying, I want to do something for the community. If that's your will, you know? Like I really want to do it for the community, like the community I live in, and I'm giving a shout out to my brother Staten, because you know he just did something really different. And, you know, it's on the internet as far as like Instagram and stuff like that. He was painting a court in Colgate, which is over in Soundview, right around the corner from where I live. I've been participating in his tournament for like 5 years now. And every other year or so, he's painting a court. no help from the Parks Department or so. And he actually went out there and he was painting, and the officers came, Parks Department came, they wanted to, bother him, gave him a citation to go to court. Because of his hard work. And this is one person, I don't care how people look at you. If you're doing something for the community, you're doing something for the community. If the community is not involved, you're still doing for the community. So he went out there, he was paying. I went out there and helped him too. I went out there late night and I went in the house. I said, I'll be right back. I fell asleep. I woke up, he's still out there. So I went and I told my son, I'm going to change my clothes, I'm going to help him. And the cops and them came, and maybe just recently, I'm on my way to the car. I parked by my car by the park, and I'm walking, like, I see sticks. His hard work of him painting, getting donations to get the paint and all that stuff.
Shout outs to him.
It got the Parks Department involved. They
Fire.
came and painted the whole park.
Fire.
So shout out to him for being a community leader. A lot of people don't look at a person that's trying their best to make a difference in the community, because you get new people that come in and they change the environment, stuff like that. But because he's a people's person, he works with everybody. So, and I'm happy that I was able to witness his growth, And then he's like, "Yo, sis, thank you for being right there." He's like, "Yo, when you called," I called him. I said, "Listen, get over here. They paying the court." He's like, I'm like, yes, you did it. And I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, you did that.
That's what's up.
You
Shout out to
did that.
them.
So
Shout out
it's
to him.
good to know that, there's certain people that want to do it for the community, certain people that actually, want to bring a name out to create. Like, I feel like DeVille Nick, he's a trainer, and he wants to also be able to tell these kids, he really believes, like, yo, if you're playing at the college level, go that way. Get away from this high school stuff. Go that way. I have players that want to play again in the tournament. Oh, when we going back to DeVille? You're too old. Get out of here. Yeah. You might have just turned it within the tournament. You're like, nah, you good. Don't play no more. So like right now, if we used to go in there, even though CJ is of age to play in the tournament, he'd be like, yo, you about to go to college? Get out of here, CJ. Come on.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it's certain tournaments that I go to that I see, they have their goals. And that's what I am here for. Find out what is the commissioner goal, what are you doing for the community, how are you helping the community, how are you helping these players that hang around you too.
She about to be the IA of the tournament. She about to be, yo, come into my office. You said the budget went to Waters? They look dehydrated. I got 2 more questions. You was going to bring another young man up here with you. We didn't have the space, but we'll get to you, young man. Right. Just 30 seconds on him. Who was that and what he represents?
Okay, his name is Emmanuel Giddy.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Like my other child.
Okay.
I love that boy to death.
CJ smiled, so he must be approved. Shay must be approved.
Manny right there. Let's just say Manny is the kid that I also push for, and like when I say he's like a child, I mean he's like a child. I treat him just like I treat him. Okay. When I pop him, he get popped too. Sometimes I get them both at the same time. So it's just that. He went through trial and error in life, and I'm happy that I've been the person since 13. He's 18 right now. I met him at 13. He's taller than both of us. He gets on my nerves because he makes fun of short people. And what he did was he stayed the course with me. Even though I fuss at him by going everywhere, and I tell him everybody don't use you for, what you really have. They just want you to be a feeling. I don't want you to be a feeling. I want you to make the best for yourself. Get there. Even if you got to get there on your own, So he happened to be one of the kids that gravitate to me and my daughter and my son, especially my daughter, because all they do is argue. And, it's the best thing is he like to come around. And it's more than basketball.
Shout outs to him.
More than basketball.
We're going to get that opportunity with him in the future. And my last question, Keem, before you close us. Oh, go ahead.
I got a question. We usually ask in the beginning, what's your guys' ethnicity?
It's a whole bunch of them. I got, let's see, Africans, Hondurans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans.
They a mud.
They
a mud.
Where's Slicer from? Bangladesh. If I'm not mistaken, he's from overseas, So
y'all the ancestry, or y'all actually have like the?
Wait, they talking about us.
Yeah,
y'all
too.
She said,
you talking about your players,
bro? I looked at y'all. She said Korean. I was like, what?
Yo, bro.
I had to ask. Ancestry was 2.5 cents. Like ancestry give you that type of breakdown.
You're right.
I'm sorry. What are y'all ethnicities?
We right here. We African Americans right here.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'm
Everybody think
Jamaican.
that, he
Shout out to the
he's
dark skin
Jamaican.
community.
I'm
We said we was going to
Jamaican.
name this
I'm
Chocolate City
Jamaican.
episode number 11. You
For real.
before we was editing, but shit. I had a question.
Yeah, my bad.
Before I got to my last one, I'm happy you did that though. I had a question before that.
Got you.
Who wins 1-on-1 between the two of y'all before we get out of here?
Ooh.
And who's
She wins.
up on the record? Like talk about it. When was the first
CJ
game,
be losing.
Are
CJ?
we being real?
We being dead ass. We about to close out. We being dead
If
ass.
we being real,
You get last word.
if we being real,
Uh-huh.
she probably like throughout my whole life, she probably won like
Spanked you.
5 times, probably because I was younger.
How many times y'all play overall?
A lot,
That's what I'm saying. So out of those times, she's only won 5.
probably from shooting 3. Because I'm not gonna lie, she be shooting from half court, just throwing it. It look like
Just
she
throwing
throwing
it.
and it goes straight in. I'd be like, okay, I give you that.
Nah, you say I'm not guarding that.
Yeah, when I was shorter, she had an unbeatable sky hook. Like, and nothing you could do about it. Like, she'll just run. It look like she going out of bounds. She do like this, and it go
Trick
in.
shot.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler out
she
here.
got the best of me,
That's a
and then but recently, no, sorry.
Belt to ass?
No.
Recently, we just
he
played the
trying-
other day.
Oh, okay. And
I
Bob?
because I was
she didn't
sweating, I was
score.
tired.
She did school because I was tired. She was after
good.
coaching?
You caught after work.
it was
Nah,
early
that's not
You
fair.
just
You caught
woke
after
up.
work. Caught after work.
Yeah, but that's a one-time thing, so you know it's what it is.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna end this on a serious note.
Yeah,
Bob,
yeah.
I want you to look in the camera and I want you to tell these people when it's all wrapped and done, what do you want your last message to be?
Well, like I said, I'm a person that gives chances, you know, so I want everybody that have the opportunity to give a chance to, you know what I mean? Because there's not too many chances out there. You got some kids that's straight away and don't know what to do with their life, and, you know, kids that was doing good, that they're doing bad, and kids that's doing good, they want to test the waters. And sometimes I don't want to see that, you know. So
Respect.
what I want as far as a legacy, you know, I just want people to give what, if they didn't get the opportunity, give what they can give, you know, and never let down, because you never know what life you might be saving. You never know what big star might come back and say, yo, you saved my life. I get it from a kid overseas right now, Julio Phipps. He tells me, he said, Barbie, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be overseas playing ball. He done graduated twice, and you know, it's just more so of you giving to see what you brought forth. So I planted my seed, and I'm just watching it grow. From me having coaches and all that stuff like that, just watching it grow. Watching my kids do what they got to do, watching my players do what they got to do. So I just want everybody to give what they know that they can give, and give more chances.
Well, I'm gonna say shout out to you,
Thank you.
shout out to your family,
Thank you.
shout out to your big brother, shout out to the organization you represent, shout out every address that you got a chance to bless. I'm gonna say I live by, when you take care of the people take care of you.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you're on a great journey. And what I'm gonna say on this camera before we close out, Kim, is you and I are gonna work on something that's gonna help leave your name somewhere. It's not only gonna be stories niggas is gonna talk about walking around. Your name gotta be put somewhere. All right, CJ? So I know I'm from Staten Island. I know it sound like, nah, I'm dead ass. Like, when we pull up, we gonna have to figure something out. Because you deserve a gym, you deserve an after school program, you deserve a street, you deserve more than these tournaments. So we gonna figure that part out. But appreciate y'all coming up here, taking the time, paying that toll, paying that easy fare.
Sitting down with us, chopping it up.
But Keem, close this out, and I appreciate y'all.
That concludes another Go Talk interview on 718 Sports Network, presented by B.W.A.P. I'm Hakim Rice, Smokey Browning, Barbie, and CJ. We out.
We out.
If y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Bro.
Thank
Real
you,
talk, King.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know the kids is running you ragged.